Hi, this is Manish Pandey. Welcome back. In this video, you will learn how to integrate ChatGPT in Blue Prism. We are going to use GPT 3.5 Turbo model. Let me show you the step-by-step demo how to integrate this. Let's start now. So if you'll see, this is ChatGPT, and here you write your prompt. Let's say translate hello world to Spanish. So here you write your prompt and then you get a response. Same way you can make a request using OpenAI API through Blue Prism, and then you can get the response based on your prompt. Let me show you how to do that. So let me open Blue Prism Studio here and then go to Studio. We need to first create an object so that we can create an action, and then that action we can call in this process. Now let me create an object here, and we'll write here integrate ChatGPT into Blue Prism. Okay, we'll copy the same and we'll enter the description like integrate ChatGPT. Click on this checkbox, click finish. Now it will launch this object studio. Here we have an action. We need to rename this action as a ask prompt. Okay, click OK. Okay, now let's move to platform.openai.com and then click on API reference, and then we have two options, one making request, and second we can go to chat and then create chat completions. So here in the chat completions you can see we need the request method, so we'll be using post, and then this is the chat completions endpoint, and then here you can see this is the GPT model, GPT 3.5 Turbo, and this is the curl command that we are going to use. This thing you can also access it from making request menu. This you can see. Now what are the things required here? We need this endpoint, this URL, and then header as a content type, this header as authorization bearer, and then your API key, and then this is your payload data. This is the data that we need to pass to the OpenAI API server, and then we need this API key. So for that we have to click on personal and then click on view API key, and then you might have already a secret key, API key created. You can just use that one. If you don't have that one, you can create a new secret key. You can click on this and then you can put your desired secret key name and then click on create. It will create a new one. I already have this one, so I'm going to use the existing one. Now the steps that are required to integrate ChatGPT into Blue Prism is, we can say we need a completions. Second, we need API key. So API key is here. Now let me go to this Blue Prism Studio, the object studio, and then let's import two objects here. What are those things? First is for HTTP request, to send a HTTP request, and another one that is for to work with the JSON. Right here, import objects, HTTP and JSON 2. Okay, so let's import this one also. For that we'll go to this Blue Prism, this one, click on file, click on import, click on process/object, and then click on browse, and then this is the path you will get in your computer: C drive, program files, then Blue Prism limited, and then Blue Prism automate, and then view. And then you have to search for the HTTP. Let's search here. Okay, BPA object utility HTTP. Click on next, finish. This is done. Now the second one we need to import, that is JSON. So after getting the response from HTTP request, we need to convert the JSON data to the collection. Now let's import this, next, this is done. So we have two objects here. Now let's go to Object Studio and let me refresh this and then take an action stage, double click on that and select here utility HTTP, which is a part of Visual Business Objects defaults, this one. Now what are the things required here to use this HTTP request action? So we need address URL. So what is this address URL? Address URL is your endpoint. This is endpoint. Now body, and then we have content type. So content type will be application/JSON, and then we have method. So method will be post, and then we have headers. So headers will be type of collection data type, where we need to pass this authorizations. Content type we are already passing here, but for headers, for this authorizations we have to pass in a collection in the headers. Okay, that's it. And then we have output. Now let's create a separate data items to store these things. So we have to store address URL. So let's note down these things. We need input parameters, that is address URL, and then we need content type, and then method. Either you can write this method hard coded here, or you can take it from data item. Now here we have headers as a collection, headers as a collection. So we have 4 data items we need to create. Okay, now let's click on OK. Let me go to this Object Studio, and then let's take one block, and this is for input parameter, and let's take another block for output. So this will be a input, and this will be your output. Now we'll take one data item for your address URL. Okay, and this address URL type will be text, and then we will copy this address URL and paste here. Okay, now we'll take another data item which is for content type, and this will be a type of text, and content type will be application/JSON. Paste here. Okay, one more data item, and this is for model, and we need method. So we'll create here method. This will be a type text, and this initial value will be post. Now we need one collection, so let's take one collection, double click on that, and this will be a headers. Let's take here headers. Let's click on add, and this will be for authorization. So this authorization we need to create, and we are going to pass this in the headers collection. That should be bearer and this. Okay, so authorization, let me put the clear name, authorization, and the type will be text, and then select this as a single row, because we are going to just create only one single row here. Okay, now click OK. Okay, this is the header. Now we'll come to the data. This we have model, and then we have content, that is our prompt, and this is temperature. Okay, so let's take one model. So one is for the model, this is for temperature, and this is for prompt. So let's take here GPT model, and this will be text. Initial value we can put here GPT hyphen 3.5 dash turbo. Click OK. The another data item that we are going to put here, that is for temperature, and this will be a type text. Let's see here. So this is basically a number, so we'll take it as a number and we'll pass value as a 0, because we need the exact value, exact response, exact output from the GPT model. Now click OK, and then we need this content as a ChatGPT prompt. So this will be a ChatGPT prompt. Now we'll take it as a text and click OK. Now another one is we need to have one data item for this data payload. So let me create one more data item. This is for GPT payload, and let's take one value data type text, and then click on initial value and paste here this plain text. Now if you see here, we have value like model GPT 3.5 turbo, message. Inside that we have just an array, role, property name role, and then value is user, then content, and the value is, say this is a test, temperature 0.7. Now we are going to replace this GPT 3.5 turbo with the value coming from the data item. So what we'll do, we'll just remove this data and put this in the curly braces, and we'll say just model. We are just going to use this as a format so that we can replace this word with our data item. Now here we have a content. We'll remove this value and then put here open and close curly braces, and we'll put here prompt. Okay, here we have a temperature. Just remove this, put here like temperature. Okay, now we'll just close this, and you'll see we have data like this. Now click OK. We have this API key which we need to add to this header authorizations so that we can make it as a bearer this API key. Now this API key I'm going to add in the credentials. So go to this Blue Prism, go to system, and then go to security, and then click on credentials. Now click on new credential, and then put here the credential name, that is OpenAI API key. Copy the same name. I'm going to use the same name, and in username you can put that same, because we just need the password as our API key. We'll copy this API key and paste in this password section. We'll paste this again in the retype the password to verify section, and then we'll go to access rights. We'll select all the roles. In processes, we'll select all the processes we have. In the resources, we'll select all the resources. Now click OK. Now we have this credentials available here. Now go to this Object Studio. Now let me take here one action stage here. Why we are going to take action stage? Because we need to get the credential, that API key from credentials, so that we can assign this value to this authorizations with the prefix bearer, right? Now double click on this action, click on business object, select this credentials and select the action get. Now get credential, enter your credential name. So credential name is our OpenAI API key. This is the credential name. Now in the output we need only password. We do not require this username, expiry date or status. We just need the password. So we'll write here API key. We'll store this in this data item, that is API key. Okay, now click OK. Let's connect this here. Let me see how it is working. Okay, so currently it's not working here because we need to pass in the double quotes. Let me just double click on this credentials and put this inside the double quotes. Just reset and refresh, right click, set next stage, and you can see here we have received this API key. Okay, after getting the API key, we need to add this to the authorizations in the headers. So let's take one multi-calculus stage so that we can add few more expressions there instead of taking only one calculation stage. Let's connect this one, double click on this, and this is for setting parameters. Here what we are going to pass, we are going to pass here bearer space double quotes and then %, and then whatever value we are getting it from API key. API key is basically our a password. This API key we will add here, so it will become like this bearer and then API key. Okay, now we'll store this bearer in the directly in the collection and then headers and then headers dot authorizations, this one. So we'll just drag and drop here. Now after this, let me add one more. Now if you'll see, this is the JSON payload data that we need to replace it using our variable, sorry, that is our from data item. So if you'll see here, we have all this value here, GPT model, this content type, and everything is here. So we'll just go to this and we need to replace with this GPT payload. Okay, so how can we replace this with the GPT payload? So let me show you first. So we have to replace this model and then prompt and then temperature. So we have to use a replace function here. So click on this, go to this text and then click on replace function. In this we have to pass one text. Now what is the text? So our text is that whatever data available in this GPT payload, we need to replace that value here. So let's take here a text as a GPT payload here, and then in the pattern we'll write, first pattern will be curly braces, open and close curly braces, and inside that it is model. Now this model should be replaced with a new text that is coming from the data item. So this is GPT model. Let's paste here. Okay, now this will replace the model with the GPT model that is coming from the data item. Now cut this, because now we have to replace two more. So now we'll paste this one here. This is our text, and then we are going to replace the pattern is prompt, and then our prompt will be this ChatGPT prompt. Click on paste. Okay, let's cut this also and now paste in this text. Now go to pattern, and this time we are going to replace temperature, and the temperature will be a new text. We can say if we have any data item available, so we can use that, otherwise our value will be 0. Paste here. Okay, so this is 0. Click OK. Okay, now after replacing this, we need to store this to one data items. Now what is the data item? I'm going to create a new data item that will be a GPT JSON data, something like that, JSON string data or JSON data. This will be. Click OK, and let's put it here. So this, it will first replace that and assign this value to this GPT JSON data item. Click OK. So this will be again one input. So if you see here, we have a temperature, but it is coming from a number. Okay, so let me remove this number. Okay, click OK. Click OK. Now after this, we will go to this utility HTTP request. Let me go to double click on this. Let me remove this, and then we need to pass address URL, which is our endpoint, which will take it from address URL. Content type will be this from data item that has application / JSON, and then method will be from this. You can put it hard coded here, only post, and then headers will be a collection. So we'll go to this collection, take this headers directly, and now in the body is our this payload, the JSON data. This is the JSON data, this we need to pass. So we'll take this GPT JSON data in this body. Okay, now go to outputs, and then we need this results, so it will be a GPT response. Click OK, this one, and then click OK. Now if you'll see, this is the another data item, which will be a GPT response. It will directly come from this utility. Let me link this, and now let me reach to this step, and then after this I will show you how to use JSON object. Next stage, credentials, setting parameter. Now if you'll see, in the JSON payload we have value like this prompt, model, temperature, and in the JSON data we have value like GPT 3.5 turbo, content. So the content is not coming here because we are not passing any value. So let's click cancel, reset this. Now let me pass here ChatGPT prompt. So we'll be passing here, but later on we'll be taking this input from the Process Studio. So let's put here like translate hello word to Spanish. So let's say I'm going to use this translator here. Translate hello word to Spanish. Click OK. Now we'll right click on this, set next stage, and then go to and then click on run to this stage, and then we'll see what is the output we are getting. So you'll see here in the GPT response, you can see here we are getting the value, the content here, hola mundo, right? Let me extract this special content from this GPT response. Now to extract this response from the JSON, we have to call another action, that is JSON and JSON to collection. So there are two action here. JSON to collection or JSON to collection skipping J array. So in this one, so whenever we'll get an output in a collection, so it will skip JSON array, and if you'll use this collection to JSON array, then if you'll use this JSON to collection, then it will include JSON array. So I don't want to get this one, I want to skip that JSON array. So I will just take this one, and here JSON as text, so it will be our GPT response. So go to text and then take this GPT response, and in the output it will be a ChatGPT output. Okay, now create this, and this will be a collection. Now click, now remove this, and we'll say JSON to collection, take this here, and then let's take this. Now just refresh this, right click, set next stage, and then go to end, and then click on run to this stage. Now we'll get this data in this collection, ChatGPT output collection. It seems there is some error here. Let me click step over, and then you can see we are getting this output as a this ID object created model choices. Click on row 1 of 1, and then messages, click on this, and then we are getting content. Now if you see, we have this ChatGPT output, that is a collection, and then we have choices, then we have messages. Now if we want to get this content, then we have to take one calculation stage. Now set the name as a ChatGPT response output, like this, and then here in the expression you need to get the data from this ChatGPT output collection. So we'll take this ChatGPT output, and then here you need to put dot, and then you need to get the data from choices, then dot, then it is message, and then dot content. So this is the expression you need to write to get the exact content, exact response from this collection, and then store this in this output here. Okay, this is the output data item. Now click OK. Let me connect this. Now just reset this, refresh and reset this. Now go to ChatGPT prompt and just put here like translate hello to Spanish. Only this we are going to pass this time. Now right click, set next stage, and then click on step over, step over, step over, step over. So if your system is taking time, you can also increase the timeout. Now step over, step over. Okay, we are getting this error, could not store calculation result, failed to translate data, cannot cast to unknown type. So it seems it's trying to cast the data to unknown type. Let me see. This is ChatGPT response, this is the collection, and this is ChatGPT response output. Okay, so you can see unknown data type we have. Just select here as a text, click OK, and then click a step over, and you can see we are getting this output as a hola. So translate hello to Spanish, and then output is the hola. So by this way you can integrate ChatGPT into Blue Prism. Now we have to call this specific ask prompt action in the process studio, from the process studio, and then will need to pass the prompt and then get a response in the process studio. So we'll click on start and then click add. We'll take ChatGPT prompt from there, from our process studio, and this will be description. Data type will be text, and whatever data and whatever prompt will be getting from process studio, we need to pass it to this ChatGPT prompt. So we'll select from here ChatGPT. This will be a ChatGPT prompt. We'll select here. Now we'll take one more thing, ChatGPT prompt, and then GPT model. If you want to pass it from Process Studio, you can create one more input here. Otherwise, you can just take a ChatGPT prompt as input, and output you will get in the Process Studio. So let me just take this and click OK. Now go to AND, so that whatever output we are getting here will pass this to the Process Studio. Take add here. Now this will be a ChatGPT response. Copy this and paste in the description. This will be again text, and whatever value we are getting it from ChatGPT response output, this one, it will be passed to the Process Studio. Now click OK. Now double click on this page information, click on publish, check this checkbox, so that we can publish this page as an action, and then we can call this action, this ask prompt action of this Object Studio from the Process Studio. Now let's save this, save changes, close this one, and now we'll go to the Process Studio here and then create a process to call ChatGPT API. ChatGPT API. Okay, now click next, and then we'll say integrate ChatGPT into Blue Prism. Click. Now here we need to take one action stage. Double click on this, and then from this business objects we need to select this business object, which one we created. It integrate ChatGPT into Blue Prism, this one. Now we have one input parameter and one output parameter. Input parameter, whatever will pass the prompt from this data item will pass here, and then same response will get from that Object Studio. So let me take one, double click on this and put here ChatGPT prompt, and then click OK, and this one will pass here. Go to outputs, and whatever response we'll get from that Object Studio will be storing here, ChatGPT response. Okay, now this is the output and this is the input. Let me put here the initial value, that prompt. So my prompt is, I am asking here, who was the first president of India? Okay, now click OK. Here we'll be getting output. Let me just remove this name and take it only ask prompt, which is our action. Let's link this. Now right click, set next stage, and then run this. So you'll see here it will pass this ChatGPT prompt, this prompt, and then it will get the response, and then it will give you the response here. Now you can see your prompt is this, and then your response is this. The response is, the first president of India was Dr. Rajendra Prasad, right? So by this way you can integrate ChatGPT into Blue Prism. Thank you.